guys, happy Thursday. Today I'm going to be going over our day 3 math task in your distance learning packets. So let's go ahead and get started. Our task today is going to be counting stamps. The post office packages stamps like this: 10 stamps in each strip, 10 strips of 10 in each sheet. So we're dealing with strips, stamp strips, and then sheets of stamps. So let's go ahead and move on to part A of the math task. Yesterday, Mike saw 4 sheets, 7 strips, and 2 extra stamps in the drawer. He counted all the stamps and found out there were 472 stamps in all. He said, the number 472 matches the 4 sheets, 7 strips, and 2 stamps. Cool. Why did Mike's number match up with the numbers of sheets, strips, and extra stamps? Draw a picture to help explain your answer. So drawing your picture, you can use base 10 blocks. And as you can see, something interesting here is if we use the information that was given to us, it says there are 10 stamps in each strip. So our 10 bars are going to represent our strips of stamps. And then it says there are 10 strips of 10 in each sheet. If you look over here, our 100 block, there are 10 in each row and then 10 in each column. So you can use, for your picture, you can use a 100 block to represent the sheets, and then you can use a 10 bar to represent the strips, and then the ones, the single ones here, can represent the extra stamps that were in Mike's drawer. So why did Mike's number match up with the numbers of sheets, strips, and extra stamps? Drawing the picture is going to help you understand that a little bit better, but also using those base 10 blocks to represent those stamps. And our answer simply is they match because it matches with the place value of each stamp. So because Mike went in order of full sheets, which represent the hundreds he found, and then Mike went to the strips, which represent the tens that he found, and then lastly, Mike counted the ones. So the numbers added up because he went in order of place value. So here you can see they match because it matches with the place value of each type of stamp. So that would be drawing the picture and writing in your answer there is going to represent your answer for A. Okay, now we're going to move on to B, which again is representing stamps. Today, Mike found 3 extra stamps, 1 sheet, and 5 strips. He said, because of how things matched up yesterday, I guess there are 315 stamps total. Find the total number of stamps. So again, the sheet, the hundredths block is going to represent the sheet. Okay, and then the strips are going to represent each strip of stamp where there is 10, and then the ones for our base 10 blocks are going to represent the single stamps that he found. So let's go ahead and count these. We have 1 sheet is going to equal 100. The 5 strips is going to represent the 10 bar, or the 10 bars rather, sorry, is going to represent the 5 strips that Mike found. So we have 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strips. And then he found 3 extra stamps, and those are going to represent the ones. So as you see, if you go in order of the place value, starting with the hundreds, the tens, and then the ones, that Mike was not correct. There are not 315 stamps, but basing it off of the place value and going in that order, there are 153 stamps. So your answer for B is 153. Okay, and then the last part of this math task, this is a 3-act math task. So the last part is explaining why Mike's guess is incorrect. What could he have done to guess correctly? So again, Mike's guess was incorrect. He was incorrect because he didn't count in order of place value, period. And again, this is a 2-part question. So the next part of this question is asking, what could he have done to guess correctly? Mike could have counted in order, starting with the hundreds. And right there, that is the answer. Mike should have lined them up by place value, understanding that he counted the hundreds first, then moving on to the tens, and then finally moving on to the ones. And that would have given Mike the right, the correct answer. Okay, and then moving on to the next worksheet. This is lesson 3. It's a reteach. So again, this is something that we've already gone over, and this is just a little bit of review for you. And we're going over place value 1 to 1,000. Just reading the directions. Expanded form shows the value of each digit in a number. Match each number to the correct expanded form. So over here we have some numbers that are in standard form. And then over here, they are broken into expanded form, which again is just giving you the value of each digit of the number. So understanding, for instance, number 1 is 345. And that's understanding that the 3 in 345 represents 300. Because there are 4 tens in 345, that's going to represent 40. And understanding that the 5 in 345 is representing 5 ones. So you would need to draw a line from 345 in its standard form to 345 in its expanded form. And again, expanded form is just giving the value of each digit in that number. So number 2 is 721. It's understanding that the value of the 7 in 721 is 700. It's understanding that the value of the 2 is 20, and the value of the 1 is indeed 1. So we would draw a line from 721 to its expanded form. The same thing with number 3. We have 166. It's understanding that the 1 in the hundreds column of 166 is going to represent 100. The first 6 represents 10, which is going to, the tens column, which is going to be 60. There's 6 tens, which is 60, and 6 ones, which is 6. So you would draw a line from there. The next one, number 4, is 915. And again, all you're doing is breaking it apart and finding the value of each digit in that number. So again, the 900s is going to equal 900. 110 is going to represent 10, and then 5 ones is going to represent 5. So we know 900 plus 10 plus 5 is the expanded form version of 915. And then the last example I'm going to give you, because I'm going to want you to try some of these on your own, is number 5, which is 584. And again, the 5 in the hundreds column is going to represent 500 because 5 hundreds is 500. The 8 in the tens place is going to represent tens. 8 tens is 80. And then the 4, the place value of the 4, is going to represent 4 ones. So 584 and its expanded form of 500 plus 80 plus 4. And again, go ahead and try those 5 on your own. If you have any questions, you can message me or comment, and I will help you with those remaining 5, but I would like you to try those. And then we're going to move on to the last little sheet here in our distance learning packet, and that is 4 ways of showing a problem. And today it is giving us the expanded form of a number out of order. So we have 2 tens plus 5 ones plus 4 hundreds. And they want to know what that number is. So again, if you remember place value, we're always starting with the hundreds, and then we're working our way over to the right. So hundreds, tens, and ones. Starting hundreds and working our way over. So one strategy is just giving the standard form of the expanded form number, starting with the hundreds. So 4 hundreds, we know a 4 is going to go in that hundreds spot. And then moving on to tens, 2 tens is going to represent 20. And then 5 ones is going to represent 5 in that column. So we know 2 tens plus 5 ones plus 4 hundreds is 425. Okay, and then another way they want us to represent this problem is using models or visuals. And again, using the base 10 blocks is going to be the best way of doing this. And you're just taking the number from expanded form, putting it in standard form, and then you're going to represent that number using the base 10 block. So if you're basing it off of the place value of the number, you're going to start with hundreds, and there are 400. So here you can see I have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 400 blocks. And then moving over to tens, there is a 2 in the tens column. So I need 2 10 bars to represent those, which is 20. And then we have a 5 in the ones place. So we are going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so if you add up all of our base 10 blocks, it is going to equal the 425. Okay, and now moving on to write the number another way. Remember, there are multiple ways to show a number. You have standard form, expanded form, and word form. So since we've already represented standard form using this strategy, and the problem actually is showing you expanded form, another way of showing this would be word form, where you're just physically writing out the words that represent the number. So 425. And then always in the last column, they want you to show your work. How do you know the answer is correct? In this particular problem, we know our answer is correct because we used the place value. We went place value by place value. We know we started with the hundreds, we worked our way next to the tens, and then we finally did the ones. So we know, because we went in order of place value, we know 2 tens plus 5 ones plus 4 hundreds is indeed 425. I hope this video was helpful. And again, if you or your parents have any questions or you need any help with resources, please do not hesitate to reach out to me, and I will do my best to get you guys an answer. Again, I hope you guys are staying safe, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.